unveiling the confidence traits that women can't resist. Attraction, in its deepest sense, is far more than physical appearance. Sure, we all know that looks matter to a certain extent, but deep, lasting attraction goes beyond just what you see at first glance. It's rooted in psychological dynamics, how you make someone feel when they're around you. Confidence plays a huge part in that. But here's the thing. The most confident people aren't necessarily the loudest or most flashy. They're the ones who evoke emotions that make others crave their presence. Have you ever wondered why some men seem to captivate women without even trying? Why is it that certain compliments, when delivered at the right time, seem to make women fall for someone? The answer lies in the way compliments trigger emotional responses that go far beyond flattery. This video will uncover the hidden secrets of confidence, focusing on 3 forbidden compliments that go beyond the superficial and actually make women feel something deep and meaningful. These are the kinds of compliments that get under a woman's skin, leaving her thinking about you long after you've left the room. By the end of this video, you'll understand why these compliments work and how you can use them to create a lasting impact. Let's dive deep into psychology behind what makes a woman crave your presence. 1. There's something about you that I can't quite figure out. The first forbidden compliment we're going to break down is a powerful tool in psychological attraction. The compliment that evokes mystery. This phrase doesn't just make a woman feel good. It makes her feel curious. Curiosity is one of the most powerful emotional triggers for attraction. When you tell a woman, "There's something about you that I can't quite figure out," you're doing something that most men don't do. You're creating mystery. Why does this work so well? Here's the truth. Women are naturally drawn to mystery. They don't just want to be seen for their looks or what they do on the surface. They want to be understood in a deeper, more meaningful way. This comment places that mystery front and center, making her feel like she's different from the rest. And more importantly, it puts the ball in her court. She'll start questioning, what is it about me that's pulling him in? This curiosity compels her to invest emotionally in figuring it out, and that's where the real magic happens. Example. Imagine you're sitting with a woman at a coffee shop or at a bar. She says something insightful or unexpected. Instead of responding with a generic, "Yeah, that's interesting," you pause for a second, look at her with genuine curiosity, and say, "There's something about you that I can't quite figure out." This moment of hesitation and the sincerity in your voice will trigger her curiosity. She'll want to know what it is about her that's intriguing you. Is it her smile? Her intelligence? Her energy? The key here is that you're not giving her an answer. You're leaving the question open-ended, making her want to figure out what it is about her that's pulling you in. Women don't want to be told they are beautiful or interesting. They want to feel unique in your eyes. And with this simple phrase, you're making her feel exactly that. Personal insight. I've used this line in my own interactions, and I've seen the change in how women respond. When you leave something unanswered and allow her to wonder, you become the center of her thoughts. She'll replay your words in her mind, wondering what makes her so different in your eyes. And when she starts thinking about you in that way, attraction naturally begins to build. 2. I feel like there's a side of you that most people never get to see. The second forbidden compliment goes even deeper. It's a compliment that acknowledges a woman's complexity. Women are often judged on their appearances, their personalities, and their social presence, and can feel exhausting to constantly be perceived by others in a shallow way. This is where the compliment, "I feel like there's a side of you that most people never get to see," works wonders. When you say this, you're not only complimenting her on her looks or behaviors. You're recognizing that there's more to her than what the world sees. You're acknowledging her hidden depths, the parts of her that she doesn't often reveal. And here's why that's so powerful. Every person, especially women, craves to be understood beyond the surface. They want someone to see them for who they truly are, not just a persona they present to the world. Example. Maybe you're talking to a woman and she shares something vulnerable about her past, a difficult experience she's overcome, or a passion she hasn't yet pursued. Instead of just responding with sympathy or agreement, take a moment, pause, and say, "I feel like there's a side of you that most people never get to see." You're not just acknowledging what she shared. You're showing her that you see something deeper in her, something beyond the surface. What happens next? She starts to feel understood. And when a woman feels understood by you, she will want to open up even more. She'll start sharing things she hasn't told anyone, revealing parts of herself that she keeps hidden from others. Personal insight. This compliment works because it shifts the dynamic from you trying to impress her to her wanting to impress you. It makes her feel special in a way that no ordinary compliment can. I've found that when you tell a woman, I feel like there's a side of you most people never get to see, you're inviting her into a deeper connection. You're saying, I see you for who you truly are, and that's incredibly rare and powerful. 3. I can't decide if you're trouble or if you're exactly what I need. The third forbidden compliment adds an entirely new dynamic, one that keeps attention alive and sparks curiosity. This compliment is often called a psychological trap because it flips the usual script of compliments. Instead of praising her in the traditional way, you're making her question where she stands with you. This creates tension, intrigue, and excitement, all of which are incredibly attractive. Why does this compliment work so well? It plays on two key emotional triggers, uncertainty and excitement. When you tell a woman, I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need, you're doing several things at once. First, you're acknowledging that she's complex and unpredictable. You're not placing her on a pedestal. You're letting her know that you're still figuring her out. Second, you're creating a playful tension that keeps her on her toes, making her wonder, what does he mean by that? This sense of mystery and challenge is irresistible. Example, imagine a woman says something bold or does something unexpected. Perhaps she makes a sarcastic comment or does something a bit daring. Instead of reacting in a typical way, you lean in slightly, raise an eyebrow, and say, I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need. This comment doesn't just compliment her. It creates an emotional dynamic where she's suddenly trying to figure out what you mean. Personal insight. In my experience, this kind of compliment works best when you've already established a bit of playful tension. It's not something you say to someone you just met. It's meant for when there's already some flirtation or emotional connection. The key is the delivery. Say it slowly, with just the right hint of mystery, and watch how she becomes intrigued by you. The more she starts wondering why you're saying this, the more invested she becomes. The power of forbidden compliments. Final thoughts. So, what makes these compliments so irresistible? It's not just the words themselves, but the psychology behind them. They create a unique emotional experience that women rarely encounter. They make her feel understood, intrigued, and seen in a way that goes beyond the typical you're beautiful or you have a great smile. These compliments spark curiosity, build mystery, and most importantly, they make her invest emotionally in the interaction. Conclusion. The key takeaway here is that attraction isn't just about what you say. It's about how you make someone feel. These 3 forbidden compliments work because they create emotional depth. They aren't about flattery or superficial praise. They're about creating a genuine emotional connection that draws her in. When used correctly, these compliments make her think about you long after the conversation ends. And that's when real attraction takes hold. The next time you want to leave a lasting impression, remember these compliments. Use them sparingly, with genuine intent, and watch how they change the way a woman interacts with you. Confidence is about more than just looks. It's about making others feel something real and deep.